Guys, Sonic might actually win. Hey, what's up everyone, it's me, SpeedSuperSonic, because another video. In this video today, that is right, Sonic might actually win the box office. If you guys haven't been watching this channel for a while, which if you haven't, you should subscribe right now. What the heck are you doing? We've been like probably the only Sonic channel on YouTube to pay proper attention to the performance that Sonic is gonna have at the box office, particularly against Mufasa. I've made dedicated videos to this. We've brought it up pretty frequently in different videos talking about Sonic Movie 3, because ever since Sonic Movie 3 was announced with its release date, it was actually put on the same date that Avatar 3 was already on, now known as Avatar Ash and Fire, or Fire and Ash, something like that. A bold move from Paramount, kind of confident that Avatar would eventually move, because come on, it's Avatar. But ever since then, Disney's been very insistent on having that date as well, also putting Thunderbolts on that date originally, moving that, and now putting Mufasa the Lion King on there, and it has been there since. And Paramount has also held strong, maintaining their position of making sure Sonic releases on December 20th. I was very confident for a while that one of the movies would end up moving, whether Disney wanted to give more time to Mufasa and maybe release it early in 2025, or Sonic might have gotten scared of the power of Mufasa and Disney and that name brand and maybe have moved out of that date. But that does not seem to be the case, because both movies are aiming right towards that December 20th release. We are now in December. It is officially Sonic Movie 3 month, and both movies at this point have to release on that date, and both movies are expected to make money. But at this point, it's looking like Sonic 3 is going to become the top dog, at least on opening weekend. But it is not secure just yet because these are early projections, but I wanted to talk about this because this is very big news that Sonic 3 actually might, yes, win the box office and beat Mufasa and become the #1 movie in America on opening weekend, which is a big success that can't be undermined. We're going to be looking at this article right here from Deadline, so let's take a look. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Mufasa in Christmas box office spree. With 50 million plus apiece, early box office look. Keep in mind, this is early, so let's take a further look at what they have to say. Currently, the Hedgehog is looking to outrun the Lion, 55 million plus to 50 million. That is not a large difference there, but we'll get into that more. But keep in mind, Disney hasn't screamed out its Mufasa campaign yet. That happens on December 2nd, which is officially the day I'm filming this, but it'll be releasing the day after, but you guys get it. Even though trailers will be in front of a ton of family eyeballs this week on Moana 2, Mufasa also has had 3 trailers out, and a teaser for tickets on sale versus Sonic's 2, which is pretty significant. Right now, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is beating Mufasa in first choice 11-7 for general audiences. Sonic 3 had a big second trailer drop on Monday that trended all day. Mufasa is ahead of Sonic 3, 50-47 in interest. So do keep that in mind, that is still at play. The appeal that Sonic 3 has in its third go-around is the fan-fave casting of Keanu Reeves as Shadow, not to mention double Jim Carrey's in the roles of villain Robotnik and his grandfather. Ben Schwartz and Idris Elba are also returning as Sonic and Knuckles, and the popular feature take of the Sega video game. For those who care, I'm going to read this next paragraph, but just warning for all of you, it is very numbers heavy. No, it doesn't matter who wins, just another great moment of all boats rising over the Christmas box office after what is expected to be a record Thanksgiving stretch, which it has been, with Gladiator 2, Wicked, and Moana 2, besting 2018's $315.6 million 5-day total. In the end, it's about that Christmas multiple, which can be as high as 5 to 5.5 times for family titles opening before the holiday. Even though the estimate for Sonic 3 is below its previous installments, Sonic the Hedgehog, which came in at 58 million, and Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which came in at 72.1 million, tracking is hot on this threequel. Audiences don't really head out to the movies until Christmas Day, keep that in mind. Interest among teen girls is equal to teen boys, with 17 to 34 at a high 16% unaided and 51% definite interest. The threequel is big with moms, you heard that, MILFs love Sonic, in both girls and boys. There's another article in here, but it's pretty irrelevant to Sonic Movie 3 and the box office. It's kind of talking about past box offices, so we're just gonna end it there, but we gotta talk about this. Yes, Sonic Movie 3 is projected to beat Mufasa at the box office this Christmas, which is very big, at least in its opening weekend. But they did note that audiences don't really start going out to the theaters properly until that Christmas hits, which is, I believe, on a Wednesday. But trust me, audiences will be using that entire week to go to the theaters. There's been a lot of like headlines floating around and a lot of stuff being like Sonic 3 is expected to be the lowest grossing opening weekend of the franchise thus far, but there's a lot of caveats with that. One, like they said, audiences really don't go to the theater until Christmas. Sonic is going to have legs, which is the biggest, most important thing. It being able to stretch that money for a long duration of time, multiple weeks, multiple months even, which will allow it to hopefully become, eventually by the end, the biggest in the franchise, despite not having the biggest opening weekend. But another reason it's going to have a lower opening weekend, and I want you guys to keep this in mind so you're not so down about this, Sonic Movie 1 and 2 had 3-day opening weekends. This is something that a lot of people are leaving out for some reason. I don't know why they aren't looking at this. Both fell on holidays where there was 3 days of tracking for these, and when it says 58 million for Sonic 1 and 72.1 for Sonic 2, that is because there is 3 days of tracking. So technically with Sonic 3 only having a traditional opening weekend of 2 days, including preview day obviously, that is very, very impressive. Not just that, but I think we should note this. It is releasing against another massive movie, something none of the Sonic movies have done prior. Yes, there have been other blockbusters, if you even want to call it that, or at least name brand movies around it, specifically Sonic Movie 2 having to have Harry Potter's spin-off Fantastic Beasts release the week after, but with as mediocre as that film was, while yes, Harry Potter won that opening weekend for itself, Sonic eventually reclaimed #1 spot the week after. I don't think I need to get into Morbius and Birds of Prey and all the other stuff that released around the other films. The point is though, when Sonic has eventually come out in theaters, the day of release, it's not really had a lot of competition at all. This is the first time that Paramount is really putting its foot down and seeing how Sonic does against another big film. And this isn't just some small little film. Mufasa is a big movie. And yes, while it is still estimated to potentially beat Mufasa at the box office, keep in mind these are early projections, that does not mean Sonic is at the end of the day going to make the most money of the two movies. It very well could. That could very well happen. This movie could absolutely bomb, but like they said, Disney hasn't really started its Mufasa push just yet. There's a chance that their marketing could really go crazy as time goes on, but we'll see how that goes. Sonic 3 has been doing a great job at staying in people's heads for the past few weeks, especially since this second trailer drop. Sonic 3 definitely has a big head start on Mufasa. Keep in mind, they haven't even gone on Fallon or Kimmel yet. They haven't done press junkets. Those haven't been released. The Shadow Campaign DLC, the video game, that's still coming out soon. And God knows there's still so much coming out in regards to Sonic 3. So don't worry. It's not like once when Mufasa starts its marketing, Sonic is going to take a back seat and see if the Mufasa can catch up. No, Sonic is here to compete. It needs to compete in order to win that box office and make the most money, or else audiences will at some point, maybe over the next few weeks, shift to Mufasa. And keep in mind, the margin as of now is a 50 to 55 plus million difference between the two movies. That's not incredibly large. Yes, 5+ million might sound like a lot to some people, but Mufasa could easily gain that traction and surpass Sonic in that time. We could see these are early projections once again, but as of now, this is looking very, very positive for Sonic 3. And I think that's for big reasons. One of the reasons, well, the franchise has grown significantly since not only the release of the first movie, but the second movie. It is no dispute, I don't think anybody would argue with me, that the Sonic movies have launched Sonic into a new golden age where the franchise has never been more popular than it is right now. It's never carried so much cultural significance in just the general real world that we live in right now. It is no longer niche, it is not even let alone a punching bag anymore. Sonic is a brand and a character, an icon that can be celebrated by so many people around the world. And it's not something to be ashamed of, it's something that people can genuinely enjoy and go out and see, and the movies are the #1 thing that people look towards with Sonic at this point, really. Yes, the video games are still massive, they're selling great now, but the movies are still such a massive draw. Just a brief little story. I have, as a human, friends. And this past Friday, we went out. Keep in mind, these people are not internet people, they're just normal, everyday people. And my friend, who is not tuned in with Sonic or video games at all, was talking to his girlfriend behind me, and I heard it, about how, hey, we should go see Sonic Movie 3 because I heard Keanu Reeves is playing Shadow. Verbatim, that's what's going on. If that everyday person, who I just get to call a friend who doesn't know anything about Sonic, is saying that, that's looking good, and gave me not only a little bit of happiness that people are looking forward to the movie, but confidence that just the everyday person is going to be intrigued by this movie because, one, the past few movies have been good and enjoyable. A lot of everyday people I know outside of just that have seen the movies and have enjoyed them, but also those names are going to bring people to the movies. Keanu Reeves' Shadow is massive. Jim Carrey playing 2 roles is a big draw, as that's such a Jim Carrey thing to do, and people are going to want to see that. Let's not forget, Idris Elba is still playing Knuckles, and people still love Idris Elba. Ben Schwartz has a massive cult following. Also, Sonic is a very hard brand to avoid right now. If you go into stores, there's Sonic merchandise all over the place. If you turn on NFL football, not only are there spots for Sonic Movie 3, but two players on the Detroit Lions call themselves Sonic and Knuckles, which is constantly brought up on the telecast. He's on billboards everywhere. It is Sonic fever right now. I honestly don't think it's ever been this big. This is a very big point in Sonic history, and I think it winning the box office, beating Mufasa / Disney, is going to be a big, even bigger step forward for the franchise than we've had over the past few years. Sonic has already been steadily climbing as one of the biggest brands in the world in terms of pop culture icons and franchises, not just in terms of the media it produces, but also merchandise sales and stuff like that. I think this can truly cement Sonic as one of the top 10, top 5 might be a little generous, but maybe cultural franchises. I would argue genuinely right now, Sonic at this moment, the day I'm releasing this video, currently has more of a cultural impact than Mario does right now. I'm not saying Sonic is the more iconic character overall, or that Sonic is overtaking Mario, even though there are some strides being taken right now to getting back in competition with him. But at this moment, yes, I do believe, and I don't think there are too many people who could argue that Sonic right now at this moment has more cultural significance to America, to the world, to this generation than Mario does. So yes, this is big news about Sonic being on track to win the box office opening weekend. That is awesome. That is super cool. And yes, the current number that is being projected is lower than the past two movies, but I do want to say a few things. One, that could go up, it could go down. I don't see it going down. I could see that going up. Whether it will surpass Sonic 2's 72 million, then keep in mind this is all domestic, which is America. Well, I don't know if it can touch that. That is solely because it has one less day of tracking than the past two movies, which is a significant thing when it comes to an opening weekend. Paramount will see that, and don't worry, they won't get discouraged. They know what they're doing. They're the people who know that the movie has one less day at the opening weekend box office than the past two movies, so it having less money isn't going to be too scary for them. And keep in mind that this could very well surpass the first movie, at least I see. In fact, I'll make that prediction. This movie will end up making more money domestically at the opening weekend box office than the first movie after some more projections come out. If you guys watch this channel, I will fully admit I was very confident that Mufasa would win the box office. I wasn't saying that Sonic would get destroyed at opening weekend. I thought Mufasa would win opening weekend somewhat comfortably and then ultimately make the most money, which I still stand firm in. I still think Mufasa at the end of the day will make more money. I think Mufasa just has more of an international market outside of America. But the whole point of me saying that is like, here's to me now at this point campaigning and hoping and encouraging you guys to go out to the theater and support this. Tickets are on sale right now. Go get your tickets. If you can't get tickets right now when the movie is in theaters, make sure you go see it, not just opening weekend, but go see it whenever you can. If you can't make it this opening weekend, go see it on Christmas Eve, one of the days in that week, whenever you can. If you love Sonic, if you love this franchise, if you want to support it, go see the movie. This is a big deal. This needs to happen. I want it to not only win opening weekend, but I ultimately want it to make more money overall. This is a big deal. This is a big moment in Sonic history, and I cannot wait to see how this turns out. But this is where I pass it off to you guys and ask, what do you think? What do you think about Sonic Movie 3 currently being projected to make more money at the box office opening weekend than Mufasa the Lion King? Did you expect it? Do you not? And do you ultimately think it will make more money overall at the boxes than Mufasa? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links on my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow those fun things in my life, which and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. This is the #1 destination in YouTube for all things Sonic. Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comics, merchandise, and more, we talk about it all. We have so many videos coming in preparation for Sonic Movie 3, but we have other content coming as well in regards to other aspects of the Sonic franchise, such as TV shows, video games, so stay tuned for that. I'm still working on this massive video for you guys. I love all of you so much. It is officially Sonic Movie 3 month. I cannot wait. I love all of you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
And be right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to far away.